So, very good evening. We will be discussing economy full length test today. 100 questions, right? So, let's begin with this. You might have question papers with you, right? So, we will be discussing solutions and some explanation, right? Some explanatory part also. Considering the following statements with reference to Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Recently, 10 years has got completed with respect to Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So it has become kind of little important for the examination purpose, right? So Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, it is under purview of the Ministry of Finance. Yes, this statement is correct. It is under the Ministry of Finance. Bank accounts under Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana do not earn interest on the deposits. They earn, right? They earn interest on the deposits like any other regular accounts. So this statement is incorrect. The largest share of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana accounts is with private sector. No, the largest share is with public sector bank. Then comes regional rural banks. Then comes the private sector bank, and then the cooperative banks, rural cooperative banks. So this statement is also incorrect. One is correct, 2 and 3 are not correct. In the question they are asking about incorrect statements. So 2 and 3, option B is the right answer. Fine. Okay. Coming to the next question, question number 2. There is explanation part also, but this is not much required, right? Completed 10 years on Wednesday, that is August 28, and it was momentous said by the Prime Minister, and it is for giving dignity to crores of people, especially women, youth, and the marginalized communities. Then again, why statement 1 is correct and why statement 2 is incorrect, 3 is incorrect, right? Coming to the next question with respect to UPI. So till now many questions has been asked with on UPI, NPCI, etc. UPI and NPCI, etc. Now consider this second question. Question number 2. It caters to the peer-to-peer collect request. Peer-to-peer collect request from transmitter to one point to another point. One point to another point, peer-to-peer connection is possible. So we have seen this in UPI payment. So it is correct. It allows a single mobile application for accessing different bank accounts. You might have seen in the Bhim app or Google Pay, etc. Phone Pay. You can add multiple accounts in one application. So this is correct. Non-bank third-party app providers are not allowed in the UPI platform. No, they are allowed. So there are many platforms which are non-bank third-party app and they are allowed. So statement 3 is incorrect. 1, 2 are correct. So they are asking about correct statement. Option A is the right answer. Coming to question number 3. So this is a detailed explanation of it. Maybe you will be getting it. Hope so. Coming to question number 3. Consider the following statements with reference to Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, CMIE. Consider the following questions with respect to CMIE. It works under the purview of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. No, it is a private company, right? It is a private company, but it has built India's largest database on the financial performance of individual companies. This statement is correct with respect to CMIE. So sometimes what happens is it appears that it works under some ministry. So you have to be very cautious about it. CMIE is a privately owned body and it does not work under any ministry. Fine. So option B is the correct option here. Coming to question number 4. Consider the following statements with reference to coins issued in India. Coins of 1 rupee or higher are legal tender up to 1000 rupee. Now see, these coins and notes, currency notes, whatever is issued by the RBI, these and the coins under finance ministry, these are legal tender. But when you are paying, for example, lakhs of rupees or 10 lakh rupees of crores of rupees, you cannot pay in coins, right? So there is a cap on it. When we say 1 rupee coin is acceptable, yes, 1 rupee coin is acceptable, it is a legal tender. But when you are paying, for example, 1 lakh rupees, so you cannot take the 1 rupee coin, 1 lakh 1 rupee coin, and you can go for the payment. Maybe the other person can stop or can tell you that I will not accept it. If he deny his acceptance, he will not be prosecuted because it is a legal tender up to only 1000 rupees. It is a legal tender up to 1000 rupees only. If you are paying 1000 rupees with respect to 1 rupee coin or higher, 1 rupee coin or higher, for example 5 rupee coin, 10 rupee coin, now we have 20 rupee coin also. So this is legal tender up to only 1000 rupees. 50 paise, that is half rupee coin, shall be legal tender for any sum not exceeding 10 rupees. So you cannot go and pay in 50 paise coin 10,000 rupees or 1000 rupees. It is only legal tender up to 10 rupees. The Reserve Bank of India is responsible for the designing and minting of coins in various denominations. No, this is the responsibility of Ministry of Finance, not RBI, right? Not RBI. So this is not correct with respect to RBI. This is correct. So only 2 statements are correct. Option 3 is not correct, right? These informations are available on the website of Reserve Bank of India, right? Questions are being formed. We have seen in the previous year questions also. Questions are formed from the websites of RBI also. For example, there are FAQ sections with respect to different topics. So questions can be asked from it. Consider the following: deposits of central state government. Okay, what is the question? Which of the above are insured by Deposit Insurance Credit Guarantee Corporation, DICGC, right? DICGC ensures deposit of central bank, deposit of state government, central government or state government, this is correct. Deposit of foreign governments, this is also correct. And for individuals, the deposit up to 5 lakh rupees, this is also correct. So 1, 2 and 3 all are correct, right? So it is with respect to insurance of deposit. So this is the list. DICGC insures deposits such as saving, fixed and current, recurring, etc. Deposit accepts following types of deposits. These are the deposit. For example, deposit of foreign governments, deposit of central banks, interbank deposits, deposit of state land development banks, etc. with state cooperative bank, and any amount due on account of and deposit received outside India, and any amount which has been specifically exempted by the corporation with the previous approval of Reserve Bank of India. And for individuals, 5 lakh rupees, right? For individual, it is 5 lakh rupees. Each depositors in a bank insured up to maximum of rupees 5 lakh for both principal and interest amount held by him in the same right and same capacity as on the date of liquidation. When the liquidation is being when the bank is going under liquidation or cancellation of bank license, or the date on which the scheme of amalgamation or merger reconstruction comes in to force, right? So these questions can be this is the potential question that DICGC insures which type of deposits. Now see, what you need to understand here is the question may not be on these similar information, but question can be asked from these informations, right? These the explanation part, and the explanation part contains lot many more data, so question can be asked, data or information, so question can be asked from it. Coming to question number 6, consider the following statements with reference to club goods. With reference to club goods. Club goods are those goods which you can prohibit someone to have a consumption of it, but once he has qualified for consumption, then it is non-rival, right? So these are products that are non-excludable, non-rival. No, these are excludable. You can stop someone to get a consumption of it. For example, the coaching class, right? So someone, you can prohibit the person to avail this services, to attend this class, right? Once they pay their fee and they enroll for the batch, they can come into the class. But once they have enrolled in the course and they are in the class, now it's should not be the rival one, because everyone should have their own seat and they should be accommodated in the class, right? So non-excludable, these are non-excludable, right? But non-rival. So club goods are not non-excludable, rather they are excludable. So club goods are excludable but non-rival. Excludable but non-rival, right? These are sometimes, so this is incorrect statement. These are sometimes also referred to as artificially scarce resource. Yes, this is correct. Artificially scarce resource. These are not in scarce, but since they are excludable, it is artificially scarce resource. They are often provided by natural monopolies. Yes, this is also correct. So option B is the right answer here. Coming to question number 7. Consider the following statements with reference to mixed economy model. So we have seen in the class that socialist economy, capitalist economy and mixed economy, right? So with reference to mixed economy means having the feature of both capitalist economy as well as socialist economy. The private and public sectors share the means of production. This is correct. They are sharing the means of production. Private means dominant, that is the feature of capitalist economy, and public sectors feature of basically socialist economy, right? So they are sharing means it is mixed economy. So statement 1 is correct. Goods are distributed based on people's purchasing power. If you are distributing goods based on people's purchasing power, that means it is a capitalist economy, right? It is a capitalist economy, because this is the feature of capitalist economy and not mixed economy, because in mixed economy what happens is this features remains there. Goods are not distributed, but goods are available as per the purchasing power of the people. For example, iPhone is available in India, right? So you can purchase depending on your purchase power capacity. But when we talk about distribution, for example, food grain distribution, this is not based on people purchasing power capacity. If we will make food grains available depending upon people purchasing power capacity or people purchasing power, then it will be very difficult for the poor to avail this facility, to avail food grains, right? To avail food grains will be very difficult for the poor people. So what happens is, it is through a government channel also, and not depending upon the people purchasing power, rather depending on the people needs. So not depending on people purchasing power, depending on people's needs, right? So this is incorrect. The government decides what goods and services to produce based on people needs. So if this is typically an example of a complete socialist economy, not an example of mixed economy. So government decides what goods and services to produce based on people needs. It is the feature of complete socialist economy, not mixed economy. So this is also not correct. So they are asking about incorrect statements. Incorrect statements are 2 and 3. That is option B is the right answer. Right. So statement 1, 2. Statement 1, 2. So all explanation is given here. This much explanation is not needed as of now. Coming to question number 8. So if we have understood the concept, if we have understood the core idea, these explanations will not be needed a lot. Now coming to question number 8. Consider the following statements with reference to GDP. The value of depreciation is deducted from the monetary value of goods and services. Now in the class we have seen 12 indicators of GDP calculation, right? So we have seen net domestic product, net national product, GDP at market price, GDP at factor cost. When we talk about GDP, gross means the value of depreciation is there in the calculation. It has not been excluded, right? The question is asking the value of depreciation is deducted. No, it is not deducted, right? In GDP, it is deducted when we talk about the indicators like net domestic product, right? So this is incorrect here. There has been a steady decline in the share of agriculture to the GDP of India in the last decade. Yes, this is correct. 2013 onwards, the share of GDP is continuously declining, right? Share of GDP peaked in 2012 or 2013, right? This 2012, 2013 financial year, share of agriculture peaked in India in the GDP, but then it has declined. So this is correct. So they are asking about correct statement. Option B is the right answer. Coming to question number 9. Which of the following parameters can be considered as part of human development? Part of human development. Political freedom. Now this is this growth and development is there because to make you understand that GDP growth is not the growth of is not human development basically. So for human development we consider many other parameters also. Yes, GDP, that is purchasing power, etc., is included in human development, but this is not the only parameter where you can measure human development. So for example, political freedom, yes, it is a part of human development. Guaranteed human rights, yes, it is also part of human development. But widening people's choices, yes, this is also part of human development. Lowering the level of well-being, it cannot be the part of human development. Higher the level of well-being can be the part of it, but lower the level of well-being is not a part of human development. Gender equality, yes, it is a part of human development, right? So 1, 2, 3, 5 are correct. 1, 2, 3 and 5, option C is the right answer. Rise in the level of well-being is a part of human development, right? Consider the following statements with reference to an informal sector of economy. We are talking about informal sector of economy. They are engaged only in production of goods. Now, when we talk about informal sector of the economy, they are engaged in both production of goods as well as services. So this is incorrect. Goods as well as services, So this statement is incorrect. As well as services. So this statement is not correct. They are not regulated but recognized by public authorities. They are not regulated but recognized by the public authorities. Now this statement is not true because of many reasons. Some informal sectors of the economy are sometimes regulated by different government orders, local government orders, etc. And sometimes they are not recognized. Sometimes they are not recognized by public authority also. So this statement does not hold true with respect to many sectors in the informal sector, many businesses in the informal sector. So this statement is incorrect. So neither 1 nor 2 is the correct option here. Right. Coming to next question, question number 11. Consider the following statements with reference to agriculture in India. With reference to agriculture, farm sector output started growing from 2004-05, correct. Peaked in 2012-13, yes, correct, and then declined. Farm sector output declined after 2013. The average agriculture growth rate. So this statement is correct. The average agriculture growth rate between 2014 and 2019 was 2.3%, the lowest since economic reforms. Yes, this statement is correct with reference to agriculture growth rate in India. Basically, with doubling of farmers' income, the government focuses on increasing agricultural production. No, government is not focusing on only agriculture production. Rather, you might have seen Urja Data, right? so this scheme is related to the wind power or the solar power, right? So we are increasing the base, the income base for farmer, not only the agriculture production. So this statement is incorrect. So here option will be A, not C. Here the option will be A. 1 and 2 are correct. 3 is not correct because they are saying that increasing agriculture production is the aim of doubling farmer income. No, this is not correct. Coming to question number 12. Which of the following actions of RBI will lead to increase in the liquidity of the economy? Right? Waiving of all the farm loans. Now, if the farm loans are waived off, definitely what will increase? Liquidity will increase in the economy. People will be having money with them, right? So liquidity will increase. But think of it. These questions are little tricky. What they have said, which of the following actions of Reserve Bank of India? Waiving farm loan is not the action of Reserve Bank of India, rather it is an action of Government of India or state governments maybe. So this statement is incorrect. Waiving of the farm loans will definitely increase the money supply or liquidity in the economy. Definitely will increase the liquidity in the economy. But since the question has asked which of the following actions of Reserve Bank of India, right? So these kind of tricky questions once in 2021 prelims question they have asked that which of the following parameters given in the constitution, it is a polity question. So which of the following features given in the constitution are part of basic structure, or the question was like which of the following are basic structure as given by Constitution of India, right? So now what happens is there was free and fair election, there was independence of judiciary. Now when you read these terms, independence of judiciary, right, when you read about free and fair elections, you come to know that yes, this is a part of basic structure. But in question they changed, in question they asked enshrined in the Constitution of India. There is nothing like basic structure enshrined in the Constitution of India. So that option was none of the above. So similar like question, right? So waive off all the farm loans? No, this is not correct. Decreasing the repo rate will definitely increase the liquidity in the economy. Increase the cash reserve ratio, CRR rate. Now when the CRR will be increased, that will be the burden on the commercial banks to deposit more amount with RBI, right? So this statement is not correct. This will decrease the liquidity in the economy. Decrease the SLR rate, yes, it will increase the liquidity with the bank to lend more money in the economy, and it will increase liquidity in the economy also. So this is not correct. So 2 and 4 are correct. Option B is the right answer. Question number 13. With reference to liquidity trap situation, consider the following statements. It is a situation when expansionary monetary policy does not increase the interest rate. Now you need to understand what is liquidity trap situation. So see, liquidity trap is a situation when expansionary monetary policy, that is increase in money supply, does not increase the interest rate or income, and hence does not stimulate economic growth. Economic growth will not be stimulated because it is the extreme effect of monetary policy. It is a situation in which general public is prepared to hold on whatever amount of money is supplied. So they are prepared to hold on. They will not invest at a given rate of interest. They do so because of the fear of adverse events like deflation, war, etc. In that case, monetary policy carried out through open market operation has no effect on either interest rate or the level of income because people are holding on their money. So people are holding on their money. That's the reason the monetary policy will not be able to impact much in this case, right? So this is a liquidity trap situation. So this statement is correct. In this situation, the saving rates in the economy are low. No, in this situation, the saving rates in the economy are high because people are holding on their money in the hand, right? So this statement is incorrect. In this situation, monetary policy becomes ineffective, yes, because people are not people are saving, people are holding on the money they have, so monetary policy will not be impact much in this case. So option B. Coming to question number 14. With reference to child mortality rate, consider the following statements. Infant mortality rate is the probability of dying between birth and exactly 5 years of age expressed per 1,000 live births. Now see, there are infant mortality, neonatal, there is child mortality. So child mortality is under 5, right? Child mortality is under 5 age, under 5. But they have asked for infant mortality. Infant mortality is from 0 to 1 year. Infant mortality is from 0 to 1 year of age. So this is incorrect. Now see, neonatal mortality rate is the probability of dying between birth and exactly 1 year of age. Now this 1 year is the definition for infant mortality. Again, this statement is wrong. Exactly not 1 year, 0 to 28 days. 0 to 28 days. It is related to neonatal mortality, right? So this statement is incorrect again. So which of the following given above are correct? Option D. Neither 1 nor 2, right? Coming to question number 50. Consider the following statements. Fiscal deficit is an indicator of the decrease in future liabilities. No. Fiscal deficit means what? You have spent more than your revenue. You have spent more than your expenditure is exceeding your revenue, right? So it is not decrease in future liabilities, rather it is increase in future liability. You will take loan, you will pay interest on it, and again you have to repay your loan of the government on interest payments and loan repayments. So this statement is incorrect. Primary deficit shows the borrowing requirements of the government for meeting expenditure, including interest payment. So primary deficit excludes fiscal deficit minus interest payment. So primary deficit not including, rather excluding interest payment. Excluding interest payment, right? So this statement is also incorrect. Option D is the right answer, neither 1 nor 2. Coming to question number 16. Which of the following statements exactly describe the term paradox of thrift? What is paradox of thrift? That if every people in the economy starts saving, then the aggregate saving will not increase. Rather, it may decrease or it may remain constant. But if people start saving in the economy, this will not increase the aggregate saving. Rather, it will either decrease or it will make saving rate constant. So if all the people of the economy increase the proportion of income they save, the total value of saving in the economy will not increase. This is known as paradox of thrift, right? Option C, the paradox of thrift. The explanation is given here. With reference to foreign exchange market, consider the following statements. If the real exchange rate is equal to 1, if the real exchange rate is equal to 1, currencies are at purchasing power parity. True, currencies are at purchasing power parity, and it means that every product, every identical product in two different countries will cost same, right? Will cost same. So it is example of purchasing power parity. Purchasing power parity is often taken as a measure of country's international competitiveness. When we measure international competitiveness, that is real exchange rate. That is real exchange rate, right? So this is incorrect. Not upon purchasing power parity. We compare international competitiveness with respect to real exchange rate. So only one is correct, option A. The real exchange rate, not purchasing power parity, is often taken as measure of country's international competitiveness, right? Coming to question number 18. With reference to logistical performance index, consider the following statements. It is released by World Economic Forum biannually, right? Biannually. This is incorrect. This is released by World Bank, and that too not biannually. So this is not correct. The index ranges from 1 to 5, true. with a lower score representing better performance. Lower score representing poor performance, not better performance. So this is also not correct. Option D is the right answer here, right? Next question. Which of the following monetary policy action can play a role in improving a situation of lower demand? So if the demand is low, which situation will help? Boosting aggregate demand by printing more currency. Boosting aggregate demand by printing more currency. Now this cannot increase demand, because printing more money, more currency will not be by RBI, it will be Government of India decision. Because see, the question is talking about monetary policy, while printing currency is a fiscal policy and does not come under monetary policy. But increasing more currency definitely will trigger demand on economy, but it is not correct with respect to what? With reference to the RBI, monetary policy action. With reference to monetary policy action, this statement is not correct. Increasing liquidity in the market by selling bonds to the public. Selling bonds to the public will not increase liquidity in the market, rather it will decrease liquidity in the market. So if RBI is selling bonds, so RBI is sucking liquidity from the market. So this is not correct. This is not correct. Option D is the right answer. Question number 20. Consider the following statements with reference to MCLR, the marginal cost of fund-based lending rate. It is an internal benchmark or reference rate for the bank. Yes, this is correct. It is a tenor-linked internal benchmark. It is also correct. Both statements are correct. Let's see what is tenor rate. So both are correct. The MCLR is the minimum interest rate of the bank, below which bank cannot lend, or that exceptional circumstances is another thing. The MCLR is a tenor-linked internal benchmark, that is amount of time left for the repayment of loan. So this is included. So this is linked with the MCLR, right? With reference to helicopter money, money is dropping from sky. Helicopter money. Consider the following statement. It is an expansionary fiscal policy, right? Money supply is being increasing. So it is what? Expansionary monetary policy that is financed by an increase in economy's money supply. This is correct. Helicopter money is considered as a repayable money transfer from the central bank to the government. It is considered as non-repayable, right? So this is not correct. This is correct. Option A is the right answer here. Helicopter money literally denotes a helicopter dropping money from the sky. Friedman used this term significantly, unexpectedly dumping money into a struggling economy with the intention to shock it out from a deep slump. It is basically means non-repayable money transfer from the central bank to the government. From central bank to the government, non-repayable money, right? So this is. Oil prices have seen a sharp decline. In the context of Indian economy, which of the following can be consequence of declining oil price? Now, if the oil price has declined, purchasing power of the consumer can increase? Yes. Inflationary pressures can ease, because this oil prices influence the inflation, right? When we talk about core inflation, then we are excluding energy prices, food and energy prices. Otherwise, what happens is when we talk about inflation, headline inflation, for example, consumer price index, oil prices are included in it, right? So this is correct. Current account deficit will rise. See, prices have seen a sharp decline, so it will improve on current account deficit, not rise up. So this is not correct. 1 and 2 is correct. So option B is the right answer. Unorganized sector plays a vital role in the growth of Indian economy. In this context, which of the following statements or characteristics are unorganized sector of the Indian economy? So which of the following are the characteristics? For example, number 1, uncertainty in legal status. Yes, this is correct. It is labor intensive. Yes, and operating using lower technology based methods. It is also correct. higher productivity. Now if you compare statement 2 and 3, higher productivity cannot result from labor intensive or less technological based methods. So this is not correct. Higher productivity and profitability than the organized sector, no. Little or no social security, yes, this is correct. So 1, 2 and 4 are correct, option A. And these are some characteristics of unorganized sector given here. So these are the characteristics. You can refer to it later. Now coming to long-term repo operation, LTRO. Long-term repo operations is a tool through which the central bank provides money to banks for 30 to 365 days. Now when we are talking about long-term, it cannot be 30 to 365 days, right? So it can be 3 to 5 years. It is 3 to 5 years, not 30 to 365 days. It will help in improving the transmission of monetary policy through the financial system. Yes, this statement is correct. So option B is the right answer. You can see here, 1 year to 3 year, not 3 to 5, provides 1 year to 3 year money to the banks, right? Okay, coming to the next question, that is question number 25 with reference to nominal effective exchange rate, NER. It indicates the value of Indian national rupee in relation to the currencies of 36 of India's largest trading partner countries. Yes, correct. A decrease in nominal effective exchange rate, NER, denotes appreciation of the value of rupee. Now NER is comparing with trading partners, right? The exchange rate with trading partners. So if NER is decreasing, that means the currency is depreciating, not appreciating. So this is incorrect. The Reserve Bank of India tabulates the nominal effective exchange rate. Yes, the Reserve Bank of India tabulates it. So this is correct. So 1 and 3 are correct here. Option C. Question number 26. With reference to ways and means advances. Ways and means advances. You might have seen this with respect to the central and state governments getting money from RBI, right? Ways and means advances. It is a facility for both the center and states to borrow from Reserve Bank of India. Yes, this is correct. The interest rate on ways and means advances, that is WMA, is RBI's repo rate. This is also correct. Advances made under WMA are repayable not later than 5 years. No, this is not correct. It is limited to 3 months. It is limited to 3 months, not 5 years. So this is not correct. Option 1 and 2 are correct. C, right? Limited to only 3 months. Which of the following are instruments of monetary policy? Simple question. Surcharge on income tax. So taxation is related to fiscal policy, comes under the purview of Government of India or Finance Ministry. So this is not correct. Liquidity adjustment facility, yes, under RBI. Market stabilization scheme, yes, under RBI. And OMO, that is open market operation, it is also under RBI. So you have to keep an eye on what options are given here. When it comes to related to taxation, everything is related to fiscal policy, and that comes under the purview of Government of India. So 2, 3 and 4 are correct. Question number 29. With reference to capital receipts of the government. Capital receipts and with reference to capital receipts, and other one is on current account, that is revenue receipts, right? Revenue receipts and capital receipts. Borrowing from the Reserve Bank. Borrowing from the Reserve Bank is capital receipt, which is increasing, either which is creating your asset or which is diluting. But when we talk about capital receipt, it is increasing our asset, right? So borrowing from the Reserve Bank of India, yes, this is correct. Loan received from foreign governments, yes, this is also correct. Recoveries of loans granted by central government, yes, this is also correct. Dividends and profits on investment made by the government, this is a part of non-tax revenue, right? Non-tax revenue, it is not a part of capital receipts. So option D is not a part of capital receipts, either creating any asset or decreasing your liability, creating any asset or decreasing your liabilities, right? So this is not correct with reference to statement 4. So 1, 2 and 3 are correct option. Capital receipts and non-tax revenue. So you can have a look on this later. The law of diminishing marginal utility. Law of diminishing marginal utility. Now, when you are increasing your consumption, your satisfaction is decreasing and keep on decreasing. So under what circumstances? They are asking about under what circumstances quality of the commodity should not undergo any change. Then only this will apply. So this is correct. Consumption should not proceed at intervals, rather it should be continuous, right? So this is also correct. Which of the following statements given above is correct with reference to this law? So both 1 and 2, both statements are correct. So these are certain conditions with reference to the law of diminishing marginal utility. So these are some statements. Check it later. Which of the following can be considered as fixed capital? So you might have learnt about fixed capital and working capital. Let's see. Turbines to generate electricity, this is fixed capital, true. Computers, true, fixed capital. And sugarcane for sugar production. Now sugarcane for sugar production, the machinery is fixed capital, but sugarcane here is working capital, working capital and not fixed capital. So 1, 2 correct, 3 is not correct, 4. Hospital complex, yes, fixed capital. So 1, 2 and 4. Option A. With reference to junk bonds, high risk. Junk bonds, high risk. Junk bonds are high yield, high risk debt instrument issued by corporation and governments. Yes, this is correct with reference to junk bond. Issue of junk bonds by Indian companies has been banned by Indian government. No. Recently we have seen the junk bond by foreign banks, Barclay, etc. So this is not correct with reference to junk bonds. Option A. With reference to disinvestment in India. Right, important topic, disinvestment. Department of Investment and Public Asset Management, that is DIPAM, under Ministry of Finance is the nodal agency for disinvestment. Yes, this is correct. Offer for sale and exchange traded funds, ETF, Bharat E22, etc. So ETF are some ways government use for disinvestment, sale or ETF. ETF like mutual funds, government is clubbing the shares of public sector and they are selling it. So this is also correct. Proceeds from disinvestment of central public sector enterprises, that is CPSEs, are deposited in Consolidated Fund of India. No, this is not correct. It is not deposited in Consolidated Fund of India. Rather, in 2005, government has created a fund, that is National Investment Fund, created in 2005, and the proceeds of disinvestment from CPSEs will be channelized to this, right? So statement 3 is not correct. 1, 2 are correct. Option B. Question 33. Borrowing for which of the following segments is not considered under priority sector lending? So windmill, that is the renewable energy part, so this is under it. Export credit also under it. Higher education is under it. But purchasing agriculture lands is not under it. Rather, for raising crop, you can have a loan, right? But for purchasing agriculture land, you cannot avail loan under priority sector lending. So this is not correct. Option D. They are asking about not, right? Not considered. With reference to 1991 economic crisis faced by India, consider the following statements. India received loan from IMF, yes, and World Bank, yes, to manage the crisis, and we have repaid the loan successfully. By 97, we have repaid the loan of IMF. By 2001, we repaid the loan of World Bank also. So we have repaid the loan. Foreign merchant banks and mutual funds were denied permission for investment in India. No, basically they were allowed, right? So this is not correct. This is correct. The steps taken included deregulation of industrial sector. Yes, this is also correct. So 1 and 3 are correct. Option B. This question was directly from NCERT, right? With reference to economic condition of a country, who among the following is likely to be benefited by inflation? Now see, for example, I am a creditor and I am giving you 100 rupees today. Now to understand this question, I am giving you this example. Like I am lending you 100 rupees as a loan for 5 years. Now after 5 years, what is happening? In 100 rupees, today I can bought 2 bottles, plastic bottles, water bottles I am talking about. So 2 plastic water bottles I can buy today in 100 rupees, for example. And I have lended you 100 rupees. Okay. After 5 years, when you are returning me 100 rupees only, so you are returning entire 100 rupees, but my purchase power capacity or my purchase power will decrease. Now in 100 rupees, only one plastic water bottle is available, right? So it is benefiting debtors, but not creditors, right? And bondholders also, they are not benefiting them, because bond is like what? Giving loans only. You are giving money and taking bonds with you, and now after maturity of bond, you are taking, you are going and you are taking your money back. So this is a kind of debtor-creditor relation only. So this is only it in the given options, only they benefit debtors, not creditors. So option B. With reference to bond market in India, consider the following. The price of a bond is directly proportional to the market rate of interest. No, it is inversely proportional to the rate of interest in the market. So this is not correct. If a price of bond rises above its present value, it becomes less attractive to the people. Yes, no, this is see, price of bond, and now what is happening? How this sale and purchase of bond is happening? Already the price will be discounted, right? Coupon value and face value. So already the price of bond will be discounted. If price is increasing, if bond price is rising, that means you will be having less profit. You will be having less profit of margin available there. So it will become less attractive to the people. This is correct. So only statement 2 is correct. Statement 1 is incorrect. Which of the following could be a stabilizing factor against a predicted recession? If recession is predicted, levying proportional income tax on citizens. Now what is happening? When GDP is declining, it is declining sharply, but income will not decline proportionately. So if levying proportional income tax on citizen, it will be a good decision. Welfare transfer by the government to citizen, yes, good idea. Corporation maintaining their dividends despite change in income, this is also good, better idea. And households adapting to lower living standards. Now see, if you can sense that recession is coming and you are adapting to lower living standards, then you will demand less and the economy will go in perpetual recession period. So this should not happen with recession. So 1, 2 and 3 are correct. 4th is not correct. At least you can maintain. If you cannot increase, you cannot think of increasing your living standard, but at least if you can maintain, then economy will, the business cycle that we talked about, so it can go for recovery. Arrange the following in decreasing order of liquidity. Decreasing order of liquidity. So first, highest liquidity, that is cash currency. This is number 1. Stock and bond and real estate and antiques. Antiques is the last. Stock and bond, yes, this is second. This is real estate is third. So real estate is less liquid than stock and bond, so it comes at 3. And antiques, for antiques you have to find a buyer, you have to travel to the buyer, you have to explain. So this is a little less liquid as compared to real estate and all. So option A, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is in order only, right? Given in the right liquidity order, right? For Selling antiques will require a trip to specialized dealer, a valuation, and a sale by auction or commission, all of which take time, cost money, and so reduces liquidity, right? Which of the following are the instruments of secondary capital market? Secondary capital market. Preferred stock, this is the instrument of capital market. Secondary capital market where it can be traded. Bond is also there, debenture is also there, government securities are also there. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 all are the instrument of secondary capital market. These are the list that you can find later. Which of the following are considered as high-powered money? High-powered money. Now see, what is high-powered money? The total liability of the monetary authority of the country, RBI. So total deposits and all is called the monetary base or high-powered money. It consists of currency, notes and coin that we can see here. Sorry. This is the question, right? Okay. Currency notes and coins, yes, in circulation with the public. Vault cash of commercial bank, yes, this is also liability. Deposits held by the government of India with RBI, yes, this is also the liability. And deposits held by commercial bank with RBI, this is also the liability. So high powered money is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Option D. Next question with reference to goods and services tax, GST. All essential food items are charged zero tax? No. Some essential goods are charged 5%, right? We will see. Milk being an essential commodity is tax free under GST? No. There are some taxes. For example, if you take Tetra Pak, right? If you take skimmed milk charge 12%. Tetra Pak charge 5%. So this is also not true. Harmonized commodity description and coding system developed by the GST network is a standardized system to classify traded products. No, transportation also, transportation, etc. So this is not correct. So 1, 2, 3 all are not correct. All are not correct. See, most food items are basically unprocessed in nature are charged nil GST, but processed foods attract higher rates of 5%, 12% or 18%. Then there are many examples with respect to it. For example, pizza bread is charged 5%. And papad bread etc. are charged 0 GST, but pizza bread 5%. This example I was talking about, milk is tax free, but milk in Tetra Pak is charged at 5% and condensed milk is charged at 12%, right? So this is the idea. Okay, coming to question number 42. If we keep increasing the employment of an input with another input fixed, right? Another inputs are, for example, when we discuss this marginal productivity, we took example of fixing all the inputs but varying the labor, right? Varying the labor. So eventually at point will be reached after which resulting addition to the output will start falling. Resulting addition to output will start falling. Which of the following is best described by the above passage? This is law of diminishing marginal product, right? Which of the following can be used for deficit financing? Now you have to finance. You have exceeded, your expenditure has exceeded your revenue. Now you have to finance that. Minting of new coins, yes, this can be the part. Issuance of masala bond, raising money from foreigners in Indian dominated bonds. This is masala bond, Indian rupee dominated bond, denominated bond, sorry. Borrowing from multilateral institution, yes, this can be also there. Purchase of hard currencies, no, you will not purchase currencies to finance your deficit. How? You have to arrange money, so you cannot purchase money, right? So this is not correct. These all three are correct. 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Okay, this is the question. Consider the following with reference to FSDC, Financial Stability and Development Council. It addresses the inter-regulatory coordination issues in the financial sector. Yes, this is correct. It is headed by RBI governor. No, it is headed by finance minister. Finance minister, headed by finance minister. So this is incorrect. Only one is correct. Option A. With reference to GDP deflator, real GDP divided by nominal GDP, consider the following statements. It is the ratio of GDP measured at current prices, GDP at current prices divided by GDP at constant prices. It is automatically reflects the change in, this is correct, it automatically reflects the change in consumption pattern and structural transformation in the economy. Yes, this is also correct with reference to GDP. Basically, it is so both are correct. You can see how it is being calculated. Nominal GDP upon real GDP into 100. This is GDP deflator, and differ according to the production. GDP deflator are not constant and differ according to the production level of each goods and services in the country. That's why we talked about a structural thing, right? With reference to viability gap funding, for example, you might have seen these terms in budget, etc. Viability gap funding. It is a grant provided to support projects which are economically justified but lack financial viability. So economically justified but lack financial viability, so viability gap funding for them. A private sector company shall be eligible for viability gap funding only if it is selected on the basis of open competitive bidding. This is also correct. So just not to have corruption, etc. in this. So both 1 and 2 are correct. Question number 47. Which of the following constitute part of revenue receipts of the government of India? Earlier we saw the question of capital receipt, now revenue receipt, right? Revenue receipt of government of India. So interest receipts on loans by the government. So loan has given by the government and interest is being received, revenue receipts, non-tax revenue. Dividends earned by the governments on investment. So if it is on investment, not on disinvestment, this is also part of revenue receipt. Receipts through PSU disinvestment. This is a part of capital receipt. Cash grant in aid from countries foreign. This is also the part of revenue receipt. So 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4. So these are the examples and everything given there. Globalization is the process of rapid economic integration of countries. Yes. With regard to that, consider the following statements which have enabled globalization. Factors which have enabled globalization. Rapid improvement in the technology. Yes, true. The liberalization of foreign trade. Yes, this is also true. Imposing barrier on foreign investment. It is not a factor to enable globalization, rather a factor of deglobalization. The emergence of World Trade Organization. Yes, this has strengthened globalization. So 1, 2 and 4 are correct. Option A. 49. Which among the following are the reasons of lack of Indian privatization initiatives in Indian Railway? Private sector lacks substantial technical know-how and the coordination of the human resources required to operate railways in India. See, this is not the case. The major idea of not privatizing this Indian Railway is affordable pricing, whether the private player will be able to hold this affordable pricing for the poor or not. So technical know-how, etc., the private sector may manage it. There is a lack of capability on the part of the private sector to continue operation of railways as such affordable rate or tariff. Yes, this is the correct reason. So option B is the right answer. 2 only. Question number 50. Consider the following statements about tertiary sector, primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. In primary sector, we have seen agriculture and allied activities, farming, dairying, fishing, pisciculture, right? So this is a part of primary sector. Secondary sector, we saw manufacturing, etc., electricity, gas, water supply. Tertiary sector, we saw mainly the services sector, right? These are they are asking about tertiary sector. Activities that help in development of the primary secondary sector, yes, correct. These activities by themselves do not produce a good, but they are in aid to support the production processes, yes, this is also correct. Transport, dairy. Dairy is part of primary sector. Fishing, primary sector. Storage, communication, banking, trade, and some examples of tertiary sector. So this is not correct. So 1 and 2 are. Question number 51. Consider the following. Consider the following statements. The second 5-year plan. The second 5-year plan was based on the ideas of PC Mahalanobis, who was considered as the architect of Indian planning. Yes, this statement is correct. We have seen these questions in detail, quite much detail about 5-year plans, different 5-year plans in our sectional test. So I hope you remember those discussions. PC Mahalanobis. But see what happens in the examination. One statement you know. Other statement, if there are two statements or multiple statements, what happens is basically we are confident with respect to 50% of these statements. If 4 statements are there, we are confident with respect to 2 statements. Like in this question, we are confident with respect to this statement that yes, second 5-year plan was based on the ideas of PC Mahalanobis, deputy chairperson of Planning Commission at that time. But see, this statement may get you confused. Mahalanobis established the Indian Statistical Institute in Calcutta and started a journal, Sankhya. Now, if you have gone through this particular information, you will be able to answer the question. Otherwise, you may struggle a lot. So this statement is also correct. Answer is C. So these details you can find in the explanation, right? Coming to the next question. Which among the following is not a challenge in the power sector? Which not a challenge in power sector? Thermal power plants which are the Ministry of India's power, which are under the Ministry of India's power sector, are facing a shortage of raw material and coal supplies. You will often come through these news that the coal supply is decreasing or not up to the mark. There is no adequate coal supply. So this is the challenge. They are asking about not a challenge. So this is not the answer. India's installed capacity to generate electricity is not sufficient to feed high annual economic growth. This is also true, right? So this is correct. State electricity boards which distribute electricity incur losses due to transmission and distribution losses. In fact, transmission and distribution loss is one of the highest parameter or one of the highest loss with respect to these companies. So this is also a challenge and this is not the answer. Now come to statement D. Private sector power generators are playing an essential role in power sector. No, they are not playing essential role in. So this is not a challenge. See, these private sector power generators are playing an essential role in the power sector. This is not a challenge. Yes, this is a character of one of the feature of power sector in India. So this is not a challenge. So this is the answer, right? Question 53. Consider the following statements regarding reforms in agricultural marketing. The Electronic National Agriculture Market (eNAM) has linked with 585 markets, that is APMCs, in 16 states and 2 union territories. This is correct. eNAM comes under the provision of APMC regulation? No. Why? Because under APMC regulation you cannot sell outside the market. So this is not the feature with respect to eNAM. So this is incorrect statement with respect to agriculture marketing that we are talking about. Statement 3. eNAM provisions of soil testing laboratories in or near the selected mandi is to facilitate visiting farmers to access this facility in the mandi itself. Yes, this statement is correct. So 1 and 3 are correct. 2 is not correct. Option is C. Coming to next question. Question number 54. Which of the following is not a macroeconomic activity? You have to find which is not a macroeconomic activity. Monetary Policy Committee deciding on repo rate. When the effect is on aggregate and when the effect is on larger part of the economy, yes, this is macroeconomic policy. So this is macroeconomic. Government Manrega unemployment implementing to reduce the unemployment, right? Government Manrega this is some rephrasing issue here. Government Manrega implementing to reduce unemployment. Yes, this is also macroeconomic. Google deciding on its new launch in India. So Google is related to only one firm, right? It is not related to RBI policy, not related to a fiscal policy by the government. So this is a micro level. This affects at micro level, not at macro level. So this is not a microeconomic policy. SEBI ensuring investors education and protection in the market. Yes, this is related to macroeconomic, right? Which among the following statements are correct about SLR, CRR and bank rate? SLR, CRR and bank rate. You know, statutory liquidity ratio and cash reserve ratio, right? So rate of SLR is more than CRR. True. Now we will see what are the exact rates. You can find these rates on websites of the RBI, right? On the left tab you will get all those information. So see, this is the current rate. SLR is 18%, CRR is 4.5%, bank rate is 6.75%, repo rate is 6.5% and reverse repo rate is 3.35%. You can find these information on the home page of RBI only, right? So these statements that we can see here, that rate of SLR is more than CRR. Yes, just now we have seen there is currently a phased reduction in SLR by RBI to a predetermined level. This is also correct. We have seen at one point of the time SLR requirement was 32%, 27%, right? So this is correct, this is correct. Bank rate is more than the reverse repo rate. Just now we have seen bank rate is more than. Bank rate is somewhere around 6.75% and the reverse repo rate is around 3.35%, right? So all the given statements are correct. Option D. Next statement, next question. Consider the following statements about investment multiplier with reference to money multiplier. We have already seen in one of the test paper. This is investment multiplier. Value of investment multiplier depends on value of MPC, that is marginal propensity to the consumer. Yes, this is correct. 1/1 minus MPC is the investment multiplier, right? You can see here this investment multiplier is 1/1 minus marginal propensity to the consume, right? Marginal propensity to consume 1/1 minus MPC. So now come to the second statement that we are the second statement here is, with increasing propensity of people to consume, the value of investment money multiplier will increase. Now if you know this expression 1/1 minus MPC, if this is increasing, if what they are asking about increasing propensity, so if this is increasing, this will decrease, and when this will decrease, the expression value will increase, right? So with increasing propensity of people to consume, the value of investment multiplier will increase. True. An economy with higher investment multiplier will get more economic benefit of additional investment in the economy. With higher investment multiplier, suppose an investment is taking place and higher investment multiplier is there, so economy will benefit out of this additional investment in the economy. This is also correct. Investment multiplier is not related to marginal propensity to save. No, it is dependent very much, because marginal propensity to save is inversely proportional to marginal propensity to consume, and this is ultimately related to investment multiplier. So this statement becomes incorrect and your option becomes 1, 2 and 3 only, right? You can see here this marginal propensity to consume and to save are inversely related. Therefore, investment multiplier will also be related to marginal propensity to save, right? Coming to question number 57. Consider the following statements related to equilibrium in an economy. At the equilibrium level of income, that is when aggregate demand equals aggregate supply, there is always full employment. No, this is not the correct statement. Okay, at equilibrium we may say that aggregate demand is meeting aggregate supply, but it is not related to unemployment, right? So this statement is incorrect. At the equilibrium level of aggregate demand and aggregate supply, there can be deficient or excess demand in the economy. Yes, there can be excess demand, that will be taken care of, right? So this is correct. They are asking about correct statement. Correct is only 2. This is there. Right, you can find all this detail in explanation part, right? Equilibrium itself does not signify full employment in the economy, as it means just a situation where an economy is in stability and will not change on its own even if there is unemployment, right? And the equilibrium, etc. These are the things. The equilibrium level of output may be more or less than the full unemployment level of output, leading to a condition of deficient or excess demand that may take place, right? Consider the following statements with reference to public and private goods. Consumption of private goods stand in a non-rival relationship to the consumption of others? No. It may be rival, right? It may be rival. So this statement is incorrect here. Public goods are available to all and they are non-excludable. For example, defense services, army services, right? Police services. These are non-excludable. So these are non-excludable public goods. This is correct. So option B is the right answer here. You can have a detailed explanation on this. Question number 59. We can reduce little size, right? So that we can have an entire question on this. A rise in interest rate at home. A rise in interest rate at home leads to depreciation of the domestic currency. If interest rate is rising with respect to bond prices and all, what happens that this depreciation will not be there, the currency appreciation will be there. So this statement is not correct. Higher imports lead to an appreciation of the domestic currency. No, higher imports will lead to depreciation of the currency. So this is not correct. They are asking about not correct statement. Both 1 and 2 are not correct. Option C. Consider the following statements. The fiscal deficit refers to the excess of government's revenue expenditure over revenue receipts. Over revenue receipts. Over revenue receipts. This statement is incorrect. It is about revenue deficit, not about fiscal deficit. Revenue deficit is the difference between the government's total expenditure, total receipts excluding borrowing. This is the definition of fiscal deficit. So definition is exchanged, vice versa. So statement 1 defining revenue deficit, whereas statement 2 is defining fiscal deficit. So both are incorrect, right? Both are incorrect. Option D. Coming to next question, question number 61. Question number 61. Consider the following statements regarding FDI and FPI in India. Investment of more than 10% equity in equity, right, by non-resident Indian in any listed company in India is considered as FDI. It seems like it is a definition of foreign portfolio investment because they are talking about 10% equity, but it is related to FDI if 10% or more, right? Any foreign investment by a foreign resident in any listed Indian company is considered as FDI. This is also correct. Investment less than 10% equity by a foreign resident in any listed company in India is considered as FPI. Basically statement 1 and 3 both are correct, right? Both residents of Pakistan and Bangladesh can invest in India under the FDI route? No. Resident of Pakistan? No. Resident of Bangladesh only through government route, not through automatic route. So this statement is incorrect here. Option C is the right answer. 3 statements are correct. Right? Any person resident outside India other than the citizen of Pakistan or an entity incorporated outside India other than the entity incorporated in Pakistan can invest in India subject to the FDI policy of the government of India. A person who is citizen of Bangladesh or an entity incorporated in Bangladesh can invest in India under the FDI scheme only under the government route, and statement 4 is not correct, right? So detailed explanation you can find in the explanation sheet. Consider the following statements with reference to credit rating agencies. With reference to credit rating agencies. Credit rating agencies are regulated by the Securities and Exchange Board of India. Yes, in India they are regulated by SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India. The validity period of credit rating agency is 1 year? No. The validity period is whether if the credit ratings are withdrawn or if new credit rating has come now. So this does not depend on the period 1 year, rather it depends on either it is withdrawn or the new reports has come, the new ratings has come. So this is incorrect. The payment of credit rating is done by central government through an annuity model. No, this is not correct. Basically, it is a subscriber-based model. So subscriber model. What do you mean by subscriber model? Subscriber model means this the participants who want to have a rating for them, these participants will fund for it, and this is it. So this is not correct. Credit rating agencies, CRAs in India, can also give rating to non-profit organization, yes. Special purpose entities, yes. Local governments, yes. So this is correct. So 2 statements are correct, 2 are incorrect here. Question number 63. FSIB recommends the appointment of chiefs and key managerial personnel of nationalized bank, insurance companies and financial institution. Yes, statement 1 is correct. The appointment of the high officials of RBI except the governor is also recommended by FSIB. No. Basically, it is a process initiated by select committees, and finally the selection is done by Government of India, not by FSIB. So 1 is incorrect. 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect. It works under the Department of Financial Services under the Ministry of Finance. Yes, this is correct. So 1 and 3 are correct. Second is not correct, right? So you can have the explanation. The appointment of RBI governor other than high officials is done by the central government and recommended by selection committee headed by cabinet secretary, right? Question number 64. They are asking about which of the above given statement can be considered as measure of contractionary policy. So contractionary policy, you are decreasing the liquidity, or you are decreasing the money supply in the economy. Discontinuing subsidies given on electricity to the farmers, yes, definitely it will decrease the liquidity. Demonetization of high domination note, it may decrease the it will surely decrease the liquidity, but it is not the policy related to fiscal policy, etc. Contractionary fiscal policy. So this cannot be said that it is related to contractionary fiscal policy. It is not related to this. Increasing income tax, yes, increasing income tax will definitely decrease the money supply, contractionary fiscal policy. So 1 and 3 are correct. Question number 65. The Reserve Bank of India was nationalized in 1949. Yes, correct. The Punjab National Bank was the first bank to be nationalized after the constitution came into force. No, because PNB got nationalized in 1969. In 1969. But earlier than PNB, in 1955, the Imperial Bank of India was nationalized as State Bank of India, right? So this statement is not correct. After the nationalization bank in 1969 to 1970, that was the financial year. Almost 4/5 of the public deposit were held by national banks in India. Yes, 90% deposits, and approximately 89% or something was the lend rate, right? So 90%, approximately 90% was loan given by the nationalized banks only, and almost 89 to 90% deposits was with nationalized banks only, right? So this is correct, this is correct, this is correct. So 2 statements are correct. Question number 65. 66. Okay, this is the question. How many of the following institutions are the subsidiaries of Reserve Bank of India? DICGC, yes, this is subsidiary, right? We have seen a question based on this also. Bharatiya Reserve Bank note, this was the question when we were discussing sectional test number 2. This was the question. Bharatiya Reserve Bank and Indian Financial Technology and Allied Services and Mudran Bank Limited. So this is also the subsidiary. This is also the subsidiary. National Housing Bank is not the subsidiary. NHB is not the subsidiary of RBI. So only 3 are the subsidiaries. Option C. 67. Which of the following is most likely consequence of the launch of Unified Payment System, that is UPI, in France. What will happen by launching these services in France? That people will be able to, the tourists who will go there, they will be able to pay in Indian rupee only, right? So they need not to pay in euros or dollar maybe. They can pay, just scan, and they can pay in Indian rupee also. Saving the forex reserve of India, yes. When they are not converting that currency into dollar and all, they are paying in the rupee only, So definitely there will be saving on forex, right? Drastic fall in payment made through debit or credit card in France? No. We can take the example of Singapore, that when UPI was launched, it was thought that it will reduce the use of debit card and credit card. But still, debit card and credit card are one of the most important payment system in Singapore. Improvement in the footfall of Indians in France. It does not depend on whether payment is there by UPI or not, right? It is depend on the spending capacity that we can go in France or not. So this is not correct. Drastic reduction in demand of masala bond in France. See, basically this UPI is for retail users. So decreasing in masala bond is not the consequence of introducing UPI in France. So option A is the correct option. Right? 67. Yes, this is done. 68. So with reference to neobanks in India, no physical presence? Yes. No physical presence. Presence of banking license? No, not required. Presence of banking license, because it needs to be merged with, or it needs to work under some scheduled bank which has the license. So this is not required, presence of banking license. Presence of cyber security measures, it is this statement is included with reference to the latest guideline of RBI with reference to this neo bank, that cyber security measures has to be taken with scheduled license bank. So this is correct. Partnership with a scheduled license bank, yes, this is required, hence statement 2 is not required, right? So this is also correct. 1, 3 and 4 are correct. 1, 3 and 4, option D. See, the questions are framed only the newspaper, from newspapers, right? These questions are little close to the questions being asked in the prelims exam. So these questions are not framed through any reference book or any guide material that you are reading. The newspaper articles, every day a new article is there with reference to economy. 4 or 5 articles you will find in the newspaper, be it the Hindu, Indian Express or Economic Times. So you have to be vigilant while reading newspaper. These kind of questions can be found or can be framed from these particular resources, right? Which of the following is included in capital budget of the Government of India? We have seen capital budget, revenue budget when we were discussing budgeting system in India. So expenditure on acquisition of assets like roads, building, machinery, etc. Yes, part of capital budget. Loan received from foreign governments, yes, part of capital budget. Loan and advances granted it to the states and union territories, yes, this is also the part of capital budget. So all three are part of capital budget. Question number 70. Which of the following is not the duty or duties of goods and services tax council, GST council? Okay. Article 279A of the Constitution deals with it. Article 279A. Article 279A deals with this, the duties of GST council. Recommending the rates of GST on various goods and services. Yes, you can find alteration of these rates when GST council meeting takes place, right? So this is correct. Recommending date of inclusion of petrol and diesel under the ambit of GST. Yes, this is not under the GST as of now. So this is also this can also be done by the GST council. Recommending special rates of GST, raising additional resources during the natural calamities. Yes, this is also the duty of GST council. Recommending subsuming of certain local bodies taxes in GST. Yes, this is also correct. So they are asking about not the duty, none. All are the duties of GST council, right? You can find article 279A and these duties are listed with reference to GST Council, right? Goods and Services Tax Council shall make recommendation to the union and states on these topics, and all topics are there which are in the question. Statement 2 is right. Fine. Coming to question number 71. Consider the following statements. To promote overall well-being of citizens along with economic growth. To promote overall well-being of citizens, they are asking this question with reference to objective of fiscal policy of any country. Objective of fiscal policy with reference to any country, what will be the characteristics of decisions? To promote overall well-being of citizens along with the economic growth, yes. Expenditure made by the government should not lead to exorbitant price rise, yes. That's why the government should be cautious when they are spending more in the economy. To promote stability in the balance of payment, yes, this is also the part of fiscal policy. Taxation should not contribute to income inequalities in the economy. That's why the progressive taxation system. Also, to minimize GST tax rates because indirect taxes are part of or may act in the economy as regressive taxation system, because when you are a poor person, for example, I am a poor person, my earning is only 1000 rupees per month. Not the case, but just for an example, if my earning is 1000 rupees per month and if my earning is 1 lakh rupees per month, and if we both are buying same product, one identical product, then I also may have to pay 18% GST and other person will also have to pay 18%. Now 18% matters to me a lot. 18% GST matters to me a lot because my income is 1000 rupees per month only. But the person for whom the income is 1 lakh rupees per month, 18% of some product, if it is of 200 rupees, it will not matter much, right? So these are the talks when we talk about GST rates and all, we have discussed in the class in detail, right? Now coming to question number 72. Question number 72. The government has identified which of the following sectors as a strategic sector where bare minimum public sector enterprise would be retained. So there are some sectors which government has identified that bare minimum presence would be there. So this transport, insurance and financial services, yes, this is also telecommunication is there, petroleum sector is there. So in all these sectors, government has identified that the bare minimum public sector enterprises would be retained, they will be there, right? So these are some strategic sectors. These are some strategic sectors like atomic energy, space, defense, transport, telecommunication, power, petroleum, coal and other minerals, and banking, insurance and financial services, where government wants to have its presence. Otherwise, non-strategic sectors, CPSE will be privatized, otherwise will be closed, either privatized or closed, right? Now see the source of this question, PIBs. So these questions can be framed from the regular PIBs also, Press Information Bureau, right? So you can refer these resources when you are preparing your economy notes, or you are preparing for exam with respect to this subject. Question can be from many sources. With reference to disinvestment policy in India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. The disinvestment target has been consistently increased by the government in the last 5 years. No. You can find the graph on economic survey as well as PIBs, right? The disinvestment target is not consistently rising. The government uses the proceeds of the disinvestment to reduce the fiscal burden and investment in social sector programs. Yes, this is correct, but statement 1 is incorrect. We have seen the National Infrastructure Fund also, right? So statement 1 is incorrect, 2 is correct. 1 is incorrect, 2 is correct, option D, right? Now this is the graph, right? So last 5 years you can see targets are not constantly increased, consistently increased. Increasing, decreasing. And these are the actuals. In yellow color, what you can see, these are actual the targets achieved by disinvestment. Far less. See, in 2021, these are far less, right? Coming to the next question. Consider the following statements. They are asking about which of the above mentioned taxes have not been subsumed under GST. Not been subsumed under GST. Basic custom duty subsumed. No. Okay. Not been subsumed. Yes, not subsumed. Anti-dumping duty, service tax. These are subsumed, right? Subsumed because it is known as goods and services tax. Stamp duty and property tax not subsumed under state government. Toll tax not subsumed. So 1, 2, 4, 5. So 4 are not subsumed. 1 is subsumed, right? Okay. Question number 75. Consider the following statements regarding the regarding various taxation system. In regressive taxation, tax burden decreases in income rises. They are asking about correct statement. Tax burden decreases as income rises. This is regressive taxation system. Your income is rising, but your tax burden is decreasing. So yes, this is correct with respect to regressive taxation system. GST is an example of regressive taxation in India. Yes, this was we were talking about just now. The example I gave you about income is 100 rupees, 1000 rupees per month, vis-a-vis income is 1 lakh rupees per month, right? So it acts as a regressive taxation. In effect, it acts like a regressive taxation. In proportional tax, tax is levied at a uniform rate irrespective of the income earned. For example, corporate tax. Flat 30%, excluding this surcharge and all when income is rising, but flat 30% has been implemented. So irrespective of the income earned, 30%. India's income tax structure is an example of progressive taxation. Income tax structure. We are talking about income tax. So if your income is increasing, your tax burden will increase, right? Just give me a second. Okay. So now this is also correct. All 4 statements are correct, right? Statement number 76. With reference to securities and transaction tax, right? When you are selling and purchasing your securities, selling or buying, right? Selling or buying securities. STT is a tax levied on every purchase and sale of securities, correct, that are listed on the recognized stock exchange in India. Yes, this is correct. STT is a direct tax governed by the Security Transaction Tax Act, that is STT Act, correct. STT is imposed irrespective of the profit or loss that incurred, right? So you have to pay taxes when you are selling or buying the securities. Whether you have made profit or loss, that is not the prerogative of the government. This is also correct. So 1, 2, 3 is correct. Option D. Now coming to the currency deposit ratio, CDR, represents the proportion of money individuals keep as cash compared to what they hold in their bank account. True, correct. This is currency deposit ratio, right? What an individual is saving in the bank account or what cash they are holding in their hands. During festival periods, the currency deposit ratio typically decreases, not necessarily. This is not correct, right? So which of the following is correct? Only option A, right? During occasions like festivals, the CDR rises as individuals shift deposits to cash to accommodate additional expenses during these times. During festival periods, the currency deposit ratio typically increases, not decreases, right? Okay. National saving securities. Inflation rate is based on combined consumer price index. Yes. Only retail investors would be eligible to invest in these securities. You can see here. Statement 1 is correct. The inflation rate of inflation index national saving securities is based on the final combined consumer price index. Statement 2, when we are talking about retail investment, yes, only retail investors are eligible to invest in inflation index national saving securities, right? When we talk about statement 3, the securities are issued and held by RBI while the Ministry of Finance act as a central depository. No, central depository role will be played by RBI only. So this statement is not correct, right? So this is correct, this is correct, this is not correct, only 2. Inflation can be considered as which of the following type of taxes? Now, inflation is not a tax, but you have to bear a burden of inflation. Now, this burden will not be same for everyone in the economy. Maybe it burdens a lot, or it burdens more to the poor people, and it burdens less comparatively to the rich people, right? So, this is a kind of regressive tax. Finally, done. Consider the following statements, statement 1 and 2. If all the account holders of, these are basically NCERT based questions, NCERT knowledge based question. If all the account holders of all commercial banks in the country wants their deposit back at the same time, so everyone wants their deposit back at the same time, the banks will not have enough means to satisfy the needs of every account holder, right? Because bank is lending these monies out of some reserves, some cushion money is there, but bank is lending this money. That is the business of bank, right? So bank will not be able to satisfy, and this may lead to bank failures, right? So this is correct. Statement 2, the total amount of deposits held by the commercial bank in the country is much larger than the total size of their reserves. True, the reserves are very small, the reserves of the banks are very small, but the deposits are large, but deposits are lended as loans, right? They are not in the reserves with the bank. So this is also correct. And statement 2 is completely explaining the statement 1. So this option will be A here. Both statements are correct, and statement 2 is correct explanation of statement 1. Question number 81. Which of the following shall be considered as time liability of a bank? Time liability when the maturity period is over. Otherwise, demand liabilities, right? On demand. Time liability when the maturity is over. So fixed deposit when the maturity is over, bank has to pay this. Cash certificate same, gold certificate same, but not related to demand draft, because demand draft is payable on demand. Demand draft is payable on demand, not on the time maturity of time. So this is not correct. Only 3 are correct. So these are the list of time deposit and demand deposit if you want, right? The time liabilities of a bank, fixed deposit, cash certificates, cumulative and recurring deposits, time liabilities, proportion of saving bank deposits, etc. So all list is there, and for demand liability also, these are the demand liabilities, right? Demand deposits, unclaimed deposits, etc. These are 82. Banks in India have the authority to destroy counterfeit currency notes? No. Bank does not have the authority, or all banks collectively do not have this authority to destroy, right? They can block, or they will not return even to the customer or the person who is depositing this money. So they will not return to them, but they cannot destroy them, right? Activities of production, smuggling or circulation of high quality counterfeit Indian notes may be investigated under UAPA, that is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. Yes, this is correct. So statement 2 is correct, statement 1 is not correct. Counterfeit notes can be impounded by all banks, issue offices of Reserve Bank of India. However, in no case the counterfeit notes can be returned to the tenderer or destroyed by the bank. Any violation to this regard shall be considered as an offense. Question number 83. Consider the following statements. Currently, GST forms the highest proportion of gross tax revenue of the union government? No. Income tax, slightly more than GST revenue. So income tax. The revenue deficit of the union has declined to zero in the last 5 years, still not zero. There was target in FRBM Act, but still not zero, somewhere around 1.8%, right? So this is also not correct. Both statements are not correct. Option D. This is the list of revenue, right? So tax revenue, gross tax revenue, that is, these things are there. So taxes on income, and about GST, taxes on income and GST, right? So you can income tax with reference to wealth tax, etc., etc. So gross tax revenue is this, income tax, wealth tax, right? Income tax and wealth tax is there. This is GST. This is GST, and this is income tax, taxes on income. You can compare these two. So it is 11 lakh 56,000 and it is 10 lakh 67,000, right? There are some graph when budget is tabled, right? So when budget was tabled, you will see some graphs are there. Or for example, in the economic survey, now the government is publishing this summary also, right? So in the summary you will find all the graphs only. I guess 8 to 10 pages are there, only graphs. So you will be able to see there is a pie chart and everything is written, right? What is the highest revenue share, etc. So you can see these particular things for your understanding with respect to these things. Okay, this is the question we left. 84. Under the Kisan Credit Card Scheme, short-term credit support is given to farmers for which of the following purposes? Short-term credit. If you can think of it that it is short-term, you will be able to answer this question. Working capital for maintenance of farm assets, yes. Purchase of combined harvester, tractors and mini trucks, it is not short-term. Consumption of requirements of farm households, yes, correct. Post-harvest expenses, correct, with respect to labor, etc. Construction of family house and setting up village cold storage facility, it will not be the short term, right? So if you will see the answer, B, 1, 3 and 4 only, right? 1, 3 and 4, not short terms. 1, 3 and 4, these are not short terms. Construction of storage, family houses, etc. Storage facility, family houses, etc. And combined harvester, tractors and mini trucks, not will be the short term. So Kisan credit card will not be able to, you will not be able to use for this. Okay, so current affairs questions are there now. We are done with the questions of economy, right? Consider the following statements. A hereditary illness of the bone is called sickle cell disease. No, it is related to hemoglobin, right? Sickle cell disease affects the calcium absorption in the body. It is not related to calcium absorption. So both are not correct. Option is D. With reference to tuberculosis, consider the following statements. TB is caused by bacterium called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Correct. There is no vaccine. There is a vaccine. So it is not correct. Some countries are using this vaccine for small children, but not universally. But there are vaccines, right? So this is not correct. Option A, 1 only. 2 is not correct, right? Mira Pybis has recently been in the news. Which of the following? For which is related to what? It related to women movement in Manipur, right? How Manipur's peacekeepers became agents, provocators, frontline. The Hindu.com is Mira Pybis. Yes. So this is related to women movement. Consider the following statements with reference to aspartame. Aspartame is a low-calorie artificial sweetener that is sweeter than sugar. This is correct, right? India has banned the usage. No, India has not banned its usage. There was basically an article in India Times, right? Or the Economic Times, ET. So it is related to this particular thing. Now, the question related to Kessler syndrome. It is basically Kessler syndrome when we study space technology, right? The kind of space debris that is being accumulated in the space. So it is related to this. The study of space weather patterns on Earth. No. A theoretical chain reaction of collision leading to the proliferation of space debris. Yes, this is correct. The development of advanced propulsion system of a space exploration, no. Exploration of potential habitable exoplanets, no. Consider the following statements. A fiscal deficit is the difference between the total expenditure and the sum of revenue receipts and non-debt receipts. We have seen this, right? Primary deficit is derived by deducting capital expenditure from fiscal deficit. These are not correct, right? So statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is not correct. Now, the term Akira, recently seen in the news, is related to a ransomware, right? So option B. Consider the following statements with reference to tiger. Tiger is listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. Yes, correct. Caspian tiger, Javan tiger, Bali tiger, etc. They are extinct subspecies of tiger. Yes, these statements are correct. Manas National Park is the largest tiger reserve in India. No, this is not the largest tiger reserve in India. It is in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, both Nagarjuna, Srisailam Tiger Reserve. This is the largest one in Nallamala Hills, right? And 2 states, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So this is not correct. So 2 statements are correct, 1 and 2 only. Option A is the right answer here. Question number 93. Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin. With reference to Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin, the Ministry of Jal Shakti started in 2014 with the goal of making all India open defecation free. No, it is started by Government of India. The ODF plus status is given to not a single person is found defecating in open and all public toilets are functional and well maintained. No, ODF plus when you are putting efforts for all solid and liquid waste management. So this is not correct, this is not correct, neither 1 nor 2. Both statements are not correct here, right? SBG to achieve universal. So Government of India launched this coverage in the rural areas, and the nodal ministry for SBMG is the Ministry of Jal Shakti, Government of India. Open defecation plus model village in village that sustains open defecation free status and solid and liquid waste management, visually clean and display ODF IEC messages. So this is the condition for ODF plus. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is under the Ministry of Rural Development. Very simple question. See, simple questions are being asked in the examination, but this much simple question will not be asked, right? Biodiversity heritage site and with respect to their states. So Gandhamadan Hills, Odisha, yes, correct. Tungekong Do, Sikkim, correct. Haldechar Island, West Bengal, correct. Namthing Pokhri in Assam, no, it is also in West Bengal. So it is also in West Bengal. 3 pairs are correct, 1 is not correct. Only 3 are correct. Option C. Darjeeling, West Bengal. Okay. Bhojpatra sometimes in the news related to which? A traditional musical instrument? No. A type of ancient manuscript made from the bark of tree commonly used in writing ancient India. Yes, this is correct. So option B is the right answer. Consider the following statements with reference to China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. It connects China's Uyghur Autonomous Region with Gwadar Port in Pakistan. Correct. It will enable China to access Indian Ocean. Yes, through Gwadar Port. This is also correct. So both statements are correct. Option C is the right answer. Cryptobiosis. Cryptobiosis is related to encryption method. No. Biosis is there, so not encryption method. A novel cryptocurrency with unique mining algorithm. No. A biological phenomena. Now you can connect with this. Option C is the right answer. Cryptographic protocol used in blockchain technology. No. So option C is the right answer. Question 99. Sexual transmission of monkeypox virus disease is possible? Yes, correct. Monkeypox virus is a single-stranded RNA virus? No. Double-stranded DNA. Double-stranded DNA virus. DNA, not RNA, not single-stranded RNA, rather double-stranded DNA. So this is not correct. Only 1 is correct. Option A. Double-stranded DNA virus. It is written over here. Right? Question 100. Which of the following statement is not correct? Not correct. The Agricultural and Processed Food Products Exports Development Authority, that is APEDA, is a statutory body under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Yes, correct. Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha are some of the significant producers of cashew. Yes, correct. India is the largest producer and exporter of cashews. No. Largest producer? No. Second largest. APEDA is headquartered in New Delhi. Yes. Cote d'Ivoire, that is Cote d'Ivoire, is the largest producer. After Cote d'Ivoire, India is the second largest producer and exporter of cashew nuts. So this is it. This is 100 questions are over. So this was there from my side for this economic full length test with current affairs, right? Thank you very much. I hope you have got some information and it will help you in your future endeavors with respect to prelims, mains examinations, etc. Take care. Bye bye. Thanks a lot.